Mango role and Cookie, right? Undying's decent at breaking vision and moving forward, but he's not a catch hero. Whereas OG, they've got Slardar, they've got Marcy, Invis Invoker. With his Crosswax build, he'll have Tornado EMP. Lots of ways to break vision and really begin fights here for OG.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think the counter argument FBZ would be like, have you seen my Pengo games? Like this guy, I've seen so many games where he's like the only stun on their entire team, and it feels like he's, you know, constantly like 5-man ravaging the enemy team with his Rolling Thunders. So if there's somebody who can make a draft work when they're the like sole initiation on Pengo and the majority of the lockdown, I think FBZ is the guy you want playing Pengo.
Yeah, there's some of those players that like thrive under pressure, right? And there's been so many times I've looked at a draft and thought, hey, they've got no stuns and they've got this one stun, but I just have this memory like committed to the back of my brain of Kuroki being asked in an interview after winning a series, and he was asked about his drafts. How do they win games with literally no stuns? You know, they're picking their IO Venomancers and stuff like that, and he's like, there's more than one way to play Dota 2. You don't necessarily need stuns if you've got the macro game, or you've got this power spike around BKBs, or overwhelming damage in team fight, or diving capabilities. There's always ways to make things happen in Dota. You don't necessarily need a ton of stuns.
Can make life harder, but they're, like you say, it's not the end-all be-all of Dota 2 drafting. And if you've got good lanes or good other, if your draft excels elsewhere, you can make up for it. And we'll see. Boom. And they've got very strong lanes here. Like, that's a lot of the strength they got out of the first pick Undying, 6 Mango Undying. This safe lane for TB should be secure.
Well, Tiger did this exact same move last game. Walks up that high ground staircase. Gets away yet again. Scam and Tims were both waiting for him. Looks like OG going to get the better of this trade, though, with 3 bounty runes going their way.
The beefy Undying, just with the early decays and just having all those heroes run at him. So not really a fight that OG wanted to kind of force, but they were more than happy just to secure the runes off of it and see how some of these lanes unravel.
So there we go. What's that? Sunstrike from BZM. Looks like he's going Exor early, trying to secure last hits with a Sunstrike.
That's where the Slardar pick feels nice too. It gives you some like additional kill threat to play around for this Exort Invoker, where you've got a Sunstrike setup coming in from the Slardar. The problem's going to be is like, can Slardar play aggressive into Undying TB? Because that's a pretty scary strong lane.
Especially with Scam. I'm doing this wave dragging. One hit on the courier kills it off as well. Where's he heading? He's dragged this guy, but he's trying to...
I guess?
Yeah.
Not sure.
Trying to
catch up to Tiger, it looks like.
Get back here with my creep wave!
Okay.
Got the range creep. Tiger realizes needs to come back and try and secure it.
Oh, now that waves me. Okay. Usually this happens like behind that bottom T1 tower, but this is just a new, the 4th lane of Dota. Sometimes you just gotta open, your 3rd eye and suddenly a 4th lane appears.
Yeah, the jungle lane. There it is. I guess this is what OG have to do, right? Playing double strength into Undying, and it's real nasty stuff. Even just Tiger here getting battered away by decays. Will get himself some experience, though. After his creeps will finally die.
In the grand scheme of things, like, you're taking away a lane from a TP as well as a Slardar, and TP needs the farm more than anyone, so... these supports get a bit out of it. Skem's going to be happy about getting some last hits, but it's farm being taken away from TB nonetheless.
Alright, he's kept a couple of them alive to drag back as well, but yeah, there's 4 lanes in Dota. We can take a peek into some of the other ones as Yopaj has his bottle, gets a water rune, doing decently here against that Invoker.
Yep. BZM doing a good job sidestepping some of these stuns, but nonetheless, a lane that currently is being a bit of a farm trade, favoring the Invoker up top. Tims and FBZ. Pengalier's like, I think one of the reasons it stopped getting picked and played is laning stage is very weak. I think the good news is you're up against a kind of weak lane as well with the Naga.
Yeah, you can often... Oh, Scam.
He's got another decay. He may get Tiger as well.
Hey, he's got Soul Rip back in 2 seconds and 2 mangoes, but it looks like he's just going to give up on it. Might lose his courier as well. Unfortunate for Scam there, even after getting first blood. Tiger gets something back for OG.
Yeah, the mango man. He had 6 mangoes. He's already used 5 of those 6 mangoes. So he's just, you know, chewing his way through them. Had another one coming down the courier, which couldn't quite arrive. But doing this is your job. You're playing 5 position Dota. You just do everything you can to trade your resources, your regen for the enemy offlane and supports. Another courier could get sniped.
Could do. Wait, Amara level 2. 13 denies on Jackie. And with that wave drag, there's so much being done by this Terrorblade here to shut down Slardar early on. Yeah. Jump in.
Skim?
Trying to catch Skim with a bash. Has the crush available as well. Trying to really time this to perfection to get another bash in there. Very well executed by OG.
Yep. They saw the TB kind of, you know, elsewhere, and they get the kill. It's not going to fully swing the tempo back in OG's way. It's not really going to do that at all. If anything, Undying now gets to come back with his boots, with full mana, full health, and be a whole lot scarier, but it's nice nonetheless. Amar just wants whatever he can get here.
Yeah, drag that wave away. Try and get himself to level 3. Invoker, 21-7, starting to get a real handle on this lane with the Exort. So much damage that Yopans really can't handle. Forge Spirit's Cold Snap, I mean, it's level 5 Invoker already.
And any kind of rotation is pretty scary as well. If Taiga starts going missing on the map, there's a lot of kill threat into someone like Aleshrak.
I guess BZM is going to rush the Hand of Midas in this game.
Yeah, that's what he's got queued up. I mean, whoa, okay. Yeah, no boots, nothing else, just straight Midas, and he's going to get at such a good time. Get a lot of early exalt points, so his potential damage up on the map, getting the double Forge Spirits going, throwing these Sunstrikes to side lanes is going to be something really hard for Boom to deal with, and this does a lot to kind of secure and guarantee the late game for OG. He's the one who has to kind of answer the TB, and a high-level Invoker is great for doing that.
Some real old-school stuff. We've not seen too much of this recently. It's mainly been the Quaswax. Yeah, we used to see like the Bassi or Ring of Aquila into Hand of Midas Invoker from the mid lane quite often. Right now, just a stick the mantle. That's going to really be nicely timing things up together with the Naga as well. Once you've got your points up on Invoker, you've got this ability to Song, Ice Path, and get those Invoker spells down onto people.
We haven't seen too much from it. I don't think we will see too much action. Is that top lane where Naga just doing what she can to farm, get the jungle to him, because as mentioned, Pengalier not the strongest laner. He's just looking for his level 6. There's not a whole lot that can happen there, but down bottom the aggression continues. Here's the Sunstrike. It's gonna be off the mark. Skem still gonna go down here though. This is the kill lane. Like, even though you can get destroyed in lane, Slardar and Marcy still have that constant kill threat.
Yeah, just break down the lane, roam into the jungle. And Marcy now off the map. Oh, Leshrak very low on the mana and kind of wants this 6-minute rune.
Gonna happen. Gets the bottle refill though. Gem making value out of his death even.
Tiger's still lurking though. Looking for the jump in with a rebound. Catching out Yopaj. There's a lot of damage out of the Pulse Nova and a good stun there. Comes in with a decaying soul rip from Skem. Kill off the aggression from OG, but a turn from BZM. Cold Snap, Sunstrike, dodged by Yopaj yet again. So many little moves here. Both mid players pirouetting around to dodge these skill shots out of Split Earth and Sunstrike.
Yeah. Great recognition from Yopaj. I could just straight up kill Tiger there. The soul rip kill secure, I think maybe even needed because he was hasted, but really well done. And they're doing all this while TB's free farming, so things are looking pretty good for them, although this Invoker has just been absolute heaven in this mid lane. Complete uncontested free farm. Midas up before 7 minutes, and BZM is having a dream game.
Yeah, it's perfection. Sunstrike bottom, focusing TB,
oh,
but a Sunder comes from Jackie, and BZM's dying in the mid lane in the meantime. Invoker gone, Tiger destroyed by Jackie's turnaround, and Skem chasing into Amara as well. 3 gone, and Skem gets a double kill.
Yeah, didn't see what happened mid. It looks like he just kind of ran him down and maybe had some help from Tims. Yeah, Tims used his spell, so good rotation from Tims, but down bottom, TP getting the early point in Sunder. I guess he held on to a skill point there, had the stick charges. We'll see it again here. And a great job, I think, just standing his ground and letting the Sunstrike be like split between himself, his illusions, and even like a creep or two. So Jackie just understanding that this, if I get hit by a Sunstrike here, I need to not take the full damage.
Yeah, that soul rip came right on time as well, allowing for the Sunder scam in the right place. And yeah, mid lane, it was literally just Lesh coming back into mid, getting cookied onto the Invoker, and yeah, BZM not too much to answer with because he doesn't have the point in Wex yet, so there's no Tornado, no Ghost Walk to disengage. He's on all-out raw damage.
Yeah, that's the kind of Invoker you definitely want to be ganking and making plays around. They're not done here. They're still camping mid with both supports. They really want to kind of collapse on BZM again.
Yeah, but Tim's... Oh, Tiger decides to jump onto Yopaj instead, and now he's the one in danger, getting run at under his tier 1. FBZ arriving, thinking about the jump forward with his Rolling Thunder. BZM and Misha trying to disengage from this, but the Jakiro, even with the raindrops, going to get hunted back behind his tier 2 tower. Yopaj and Tims, they've got another Scatter Blast if they need it, which it doesn't look like they do. A double for the Lesh. The reward here for Boom.
Just great aggression, understanding there's no readiness from OG to take a fight, and that these 4 heroes can win any team fight mid, can take potentially the T1 mid tower, all while creating room for the TB to continue feed farming. Amar is just not ready to join these fights as a Slardar. Like, you don't want to fight into Leshrac. You're just, you know, running into a meat grinder of damage there. And even with the Mask of Madness, I don't think Amar is going to suddenly be able to kind of make these counterplays. It's just a tough game for him, and Pengo plus Leshrac are just in a position where they're so strong in any kind of early team fight here.
Yeah, incredibly so. Yeah, the Master Man is probably more of a farming tool for Amar than a fighting one.
Ragged's rotating into the jungle here. Oh no, he's fine. The Yopaj found a big stack and is getting nice and fat on his Leshrac.
Yeah, closing in on that Yule Scepter. What's Naga got? Nearly the Yasha after treads. Was top of the net worth a second ago, but Lash has overtaken her.
Yeah, it looked like Yuragi tried to make a move to like steal the stacks, but Lesh had already farmed it. Meanwhile, bottom river Tiger, well,
yeah,
seen this one a few times.
He does get the Invis rune, but boom, just land one stun. You know, I was a bit worried about them really only having the cookie. This split earth comboed up with that has been, you know, really beautifully executed by them.
Yeah,
every hero that shows.
Like, picking Leshrac into Marcy just feels like you pick this hero that doesn't care about getting jumped on by the Marcy rebound and an entire draft. Like, Leshrac is more than happy to get initiated on. Z top, Yuragi sleeps here, but they've still got the... Okay, Kisses will get cancelled. Yeah, still has Rolling Thunder. He needs to hit him. Oh, he got him just barely on the edge.
As well. They do kill. Oh, Yuragi is down bottom. Tiger dead. Jackie's still alive. Scraping away, but Amar gets the bash he needed. Turns back onto Skem now as the Undying. Oh, the TB illusions. They're doing a good job, but this corrosive haze and the physical damage from the Slardar is enough to get a double for him.
It's TB time.
Man.
Yeah, the Mask of Madness, getting all those max out bash, he's online. Anybody who wants to fight against him, like, you need to bring some serious burst damage, because any drawn out skirmish against Slardar is going to go heavily in Amar's way, and he's online now. It took him some time to catch up, but he's got there.
Actually, identical timing on both side lanes as well, with both carries being gone on. Both teams looking for exactly the same thing, shut down these illusion carries to limit their farm. That's going to be OG. Trying to trade out towers now, though, as tier 1 top has already died on their side. They've drawn a line across that bottom jungle. Observable expires, but they do connect with a scan, which will reveal the position of a couple of Boom heroes.
Yeah, it's important for Boom to, I think, play very cohesively as a team and make moves where they're not getting like punished elsewhere on the map, because that's kind of what happened there. And like, you know, they make a good move around the mid and the top part of the map. You know, they're getting some good farm in their Leshrac, but TB getting kicked off down bottom is just something they can't really afford to have happen. And their draft has, you know, not too much room for error here. They need to kind of, similar to the first game, have this kind of snowball going.
FBZ God using his Rolling Thunder and Blink to kill off Misha. It does mean they won't have it for another 70 seconds, and Amar quickly dispatches with the Undying, so the 1-for-1 trade there probably going to favor OG just because of the window that they have now without that big teamfight ulti of Boom being available.
This is classic FBZ Pengo, loves to rush the Blink Dagger, just some arcane boots to give him the farming he needs, but making sure he can just play as the initiator for his team, has the shard queued up so he can rely on the roll up to like get out of things like Gold Snap and
Yopaj.
yeah, nice kill.
Great two-man stun, and in comes FBZ with a swash and the crash back in towards OG. And they walked up that staircase expecting it to be, a free path into the jungle, and they're met with Boom's reaction.
Just perfect synergy of spells there. Chain stunning everything, the cookie to kind of round out the stuns at the end, and not much you can do there if you're OG when you get jumped on. They need some BKBs playing into this Leshrac Snapfire. BKB timing is going to be scary. You can see even heroes like Invoker, he's got one queued up. Midas bots into BKB. And once Slardar and Invoker have their BKBs, these teamfights get a lot more tricky for Boom. So Boom want to get as much done as possible during this kind of 5-minute window.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see another couple of smokes in a row. Like Tim's right now with kisses off cooldown. He's desperately itching to get involved in team fights. Just needs a hero to pair up with, which should usually be Yopaj, maybe FBZ. Now Rolling Thunder's off cooldown. See where they head. Kill off that Naga illusion. Top rune illusion, not the best.
No, not what Yopaj was hoping for, but I
guess it's not awful against Corrosive Haze and Cold Snap, though, right?
Yeah, it has some potential uses. We'll see if we get a chance to make a play around it for Yopaj, but for now he's kind of just farming out the mid lane. It looks like for now at least Boom looking to slow this down. I do kind of agree with what you said, where it does feel like they want to use up some of these smokes fairly early on and make these moves now. With anytime they have got Rolling Thunder with Blink Dagger, like just make a play. And they smoke up out of the Dire Observer Ward range. 3 heroes, it's the same trio, and once again looking to hunt down Amar, but Misha's in a pretty good spot to pop this one.
Look at those kisses launched preemptively. Yep. Amar's out of there. It looks like Misha might be able to slip away as well. Yopaj and
here come OG.
And considering chasing, but the song from Nagasara and trying to catch up to the Pango, he's just out of range. Oh, they can't quite find him. FBZ has Blink Dagger ready.
Skem's got a Tombstone, but I don't think Boom want to fight this without the Rolling Thunder. This very awkward situation. Like they see Misha, but that's not who they're smoking for. Like FBZ was dead set on catching Amar, but level 4 sprint, he was able to just outrun him, and OG recognizing Boom had kind of overcommitted and weren't going to kill anyone. We're like, oh sweet, this is our fight now, but similarly Boom also managed to get out, so it game of cat and mouse from both sides.
Hey, kind of nice that Naga was already in position, so she actually was able to TP top to push out that wave. While Invoker with his boots of travel, he's able to be anywhere on the map, really, at any given moment. So OG very good at reacting around that strong reset button. Jackie, yeah. Tiger trying to kill off the tombstone, gets off one leash here. Can't chase any further, though.
Down bottom, meanwhile. Mar chasing for Yopaj.
Well, Leshrac not able to land a stun just yet. Yule's on cooldown as well, means no great form of initiation from them. Misha a bit worse aware as FBZ. He's rolling in towards Amar. They really want to kill him off with a great ice path. Stops Lesh in his tracks. A lot of damage from Yopaj, though, will burn through the Slardar while FBZ claims the life of the Jakiro. And now the tier 1 tower being taken down slowly but surely. The Sunstrike lands. Not enough damage to kill off the Lesh, though.
Good roll in from FBZ. He rolled in without using the blink, so that after he got the first stun, he could blink back and stun Slardar a second time. He kind of ignored the Jakiro, at least, knowing that that was going to be an easy kill. So good job by Boom. Couple of kills and the tower to follow it up. They've taken all these tier 1 towers now, as you'd like to see with any kind of a Leshrac draft, and they continue to push forward here. The Bloodsoak from Leshrac not far off. That's going to give them a pretty good timing where TB may have his Manta style as well, and they can, start eyeballing Roshan, or at least any kind of aggressive fight on the map.
Yeah, they got Snap having mech delivered in a short while as well. Tons of ways to fight around this tombstone. And that Rolling Thunder. No real vision to speak of, though, in this top jungle. They do get this high ground observer ward now to try and scout out where Uragi's been farming, but the Nagasaran has already evacuated that northern side of the map. Just leaving Tiger up there to maybe try and cut a wave or two. And Marcy slips in behind them, and Boom position themselves to defend the Roche pit, cut out this mid wave. Make sure OG is shoved off to the right-hand side in the bottom right-hand corner.
We've kind of got to constantly address the Naga split push. Her illusions are being sent to multiple lanes. She's always playing away from enemy heroes in the end. You know, wherever Boom or not, she's going to the other side of the map, farming out the jungle and 2 lanes at once. Like right now, her illusions are cutting both mid wave and bottom wave. Just great job by Yuragi to get as much farm on the map as possible. And it also just delays any kind of a push. Like Boom's just going to be like, oh, let's go push mid. Oh, wait, we don't have a creep wave. So very annoying stuff, and it's going to make OG really drag this game out to a point where, you know, they can finish these BKBs that are oh so important. And also they're just, again, they're down on kills pretty bad, but they're keeping it close with the goal.
And it doesn't feel like they're too afraid of that Roshan Aegis being taken as Lamar. He cancelled his own TP there, knowing the Yule was coming. Still too much damage to withstand, though, as up in the top lane, they burst through Jackie at the same time, finding the TB kill, and he wasn't the one with Aegis.
Yeah, they gave it to the Leshrac because they want to make maybe some kind of aggressive plays and try to take these tier 2 towers with Edict, but just meant Jackie has to be that much more careful with where he's farming it. He can't afford to go down. That's a huge find. Like the slaughter is a nice kill for Boom, and it like helps him progress, but B going down is like the worst thing that can happen right now for Boom.
It feels like so many times in this game, there's multiple plays being made at the exact same time. You know, I'm watching Slaughter getting picked off by 2 members of Boom while they're losing Jackie top, and you've got to wonder, should they have been top covering him? Should Jackie have run away from that top lane a little sooner? Seems to be a little disconnect with Boom after taking this Aegis, which was a similar thread in the storyline of Game 1.
And also, just kind of hats off to OG, recognizing with the info they get, using this Naga illusions to scout and push out waves. They understood that he was alone and that they could easily find and get that kill. And Yuragi getting caught here. Doesn't look like Yopai's just going to be able to get on top of him, and there's always that get out jail free card in the Song of the Siren if Yuragi does feel like he's in any danger. But similar story, like he finds like himself farming out top, and then the entire Boom team comes this way. He's like, okay, I'm going to TP bottom, farm out the entire bottom jungle, farm out bottom lane, and also push out the mid lane using illusions as well, I imagine.
Well, FBZ spent his thunder here to try and find Tiger, even putting the tombstone on the ground. Kill off as Marcy. Finally take her down, so 30 seconds without Tiger now. As OG, they're going to try and push out the bottom of the mid waves, leaving Boom to open up on the tier 2.
Yeah, not the biggest kill, but this tier 2 tower is what they ideally wanted to get a minute ago, but when TB got picked off, it slowed things down, but this will give him that dire outpost control, and it doesn't feel like an Aegis where, I mean, maybe Boom consider going high ground here. They've still got Metamorphosis, but I think TB without BKB is just too exposed.
Oh, rainbow of TPs into mid.
Yeah.
Stun on for the Slaughter, but they've got the disengage from BZM. Has 4 points up in the wax now, so Tornado is a pretty decent tool, just holding back Boom and getting Slaughter out of there. And then, I mean, gods, you look at the minimap and you see these little green markers everywhere. Naga illusions spreading out and cutting waves, being a nuisance.
Even the real Naga's like in pretty deep here. Goes for an Orchid, which is kind of interesting because like this is like the fighting, killing Naga build. It doesn't feel like OG are quite ready to fight, but they must feel like they can take a fight around this. Maybe this Aegis expiring, and with the BKBs, they're definitely strong here. So it's you know, a different look that, you know, we've seen the Orchid on Naga before. It's like kind of become almost like a standard Naga build, but getting it in a game where it feels like they're split pushing is a bit unexpected.
Yeah, also kind of cool that Naga is nearby the creep wave she's killing. Something we usually see as Tim's been caught out by a naked ice path of the Jakiro. This kill could turn into a little bit more here. Skem spent his tombstone. Tiger's in on top of him. Yopa's caught out with this cold snap tornado. Bashed him, stunned up, and FBZ with a counter initiation. Aegis is down. Skem being blown up. Has to get the mech hero and Solid back up, but he's going to fall quickly. The turnaround on the Tiger, though, with his TB Metamorphosis coming back onto the Naga Siren. She's going to Manta Song. No, she's not. Killed off before she can get her spell out. And the Kisses giving you that suppressing fire to force OG to fall back again. Jackie and FBZ. Not done quite just yet, though. Diving tier 2 for a triple kill on Jackie.
Yeah, they can't keep Jackie down, and he manages to make sure the fight ultimately swings mostly in Boom's favor there. At the same time, losing the Leshrac, it was a buyback on Snapfire. It wasn't a convincing team fight at all. You can see how squishy this Leshrac is on the front lines. As we replay the fight, they lose Tims to start off. He's the one who buys back pretty shortly after, but Leshrac with an Aegis just felt like food for them. The minus armor from the corrosive haze plus all the damage coming in from the rest of the OG draft just destroyed Yopaj.
Yeah, I mean, Invoker with alacrity, he's doing 200 damage a pop, 300 even, and he's got his maxed out exort put up as well.
It was a perfect place for FBZ's Pengo, like being near that wall where it could just kind of bounce back and forth, stunning a couple of heroes, even caught some of the cores towards the end of the fight as their BKBs were wearing off, so still a good fight for Boom, and it does feel like this game is shaping up to a point where like we're going to need to see this TB do some real heavy lifting, much like last game, because like Leshrac looked like food that fight. I'm surprised Lesh isn't going for some kind of an armor item. Has a BKB queued up after this Kaya, but it does feel like at least a casual plate mail is going to be essential for Yopaj.
Yeah, with all that physical damage and minus armor, it absolutely does. We also saw how squishy and how much of a problem it can be for Naga, the fact that she's not a BKB carrier. Getting clipped by the Pango stuns, Lesh stuns, magic damage out of Tims with the kisses. Yuragi does have to be a little bit careful if he plays too far forward without being able to get the song off, because there's no real save here outside of like a dispose.
Yeah, and not something that they can necessarily rely on, as bottom lane Amar trying to force out this BKB, but he's not going to take the bait initially. The Rolling Thunder doesn't clip him, and he's out of there holding his BKB. Composure.
One Tiger at the very least, but yeah, very well done by Amar to blink away from that.
Yeah, having the understanding that he could escape it without BKBing and lose the tier 2 tower bottom though. So Boom, even without an Aegis, is still the ones on the front foot, applying pressure. And they're on less of a timer compared to last game. Last game it was like, okay, how do they out carry these 3 cores? They've only got a PL, and the PL isn't having the best time. This time around, TB Leshrac, it does feel like they're on par with OG's draft when it comes to late game Dota.
Yeah, once you get the 40 minutes, it doesn't feel like that kind of foregone conclusion. Yeah, much stronger position here for them.
So much is going to come down to execution above all. And then you've got answers to TP in the form of the Invoker, but I think similarly, Boom have answers to the Naga in the form of the Leshrac. If they can get on top of the Invoker with the Pengo, Invoker is going to die very quickly. If TB gets like some kind of BKB blink build, you can just kind of blink in on top. I'm a little surprised to see Jackie not prioritizing BKB, but he is a killing machine with this like all stat / damage build that he's going for.
Oh, another Thunder onto the Marcy, and there's the Scardy damage coming in from Jackie Boy.
We've seen this
off Tiger
a few times before. Tiger with 9 deaths, but it's kind of been his role and his job this game, so the tactical feeding continues.
Yeah, I guess this build on TB, looking at this Nagasara, and he needs these illusions to be pushing out waves and making sure that Naga isn't getting free reign of the map. It does make a lot of sense. But so far, OG with the bots on Invoker, Naga pushing waves, they've managed to keep both side lanes across the river and constantly forcing Boom just to come back and maintain them.
Yopaj is invis, and he's found BZM.
Oh, that's big. And FBZ's on top of him as well. Oh, BKB1. Can he blink away with a Ghost Walk? Tries to slip out into the tree line. He's in the form. Blink is ready. Oh, Yopaj not going to land the stun. And FBZ misses the swash as well. That was close.
Yeah, they just didn't have the Rolling Thunder. I don't know if FBZ, maybe Shield Crash was on cooldown too. I didn't quite click him in time, but yeah, just not quite enough damage to finish off the Invoker there. That would have been such a nice find, and you can see when it comes to like the farm right now, like Boom, we're up 5k-ish gold, and they're just getting out farm. Like Naga able to flip the entire map and finds FBZ mid with the roll up, helps bail him out with the Lotus Orb.
Yuragi does still have this song to play with. FBZ committing onto Naga. Good force staff away by Nisha, but that cookie in aggressively. Yopaj maybe overstepping here. TB arriving with a big reflection and Marcy shredded. Down goes Tiger yet again, while BZM and Amar, they do open up onto Tim to kill the snap. Forcing back Lash with a meatball to zone away the rest of Boom. Both teams looking for the weaknesses in that aggressive line, losing their position 4s, but feels like OG is still in a position here to press forward onto tier 1.
Yeah. I think Amar's so good as like he finds a way to run in and kill a support without even having to commit BKB, because he knew Boom used all their spells like around the Leshrac and to kill off like the Marcy there, so able to get in and out and still have a BKB to play around. So OG want to re-engage here. Naga have a completed Heart of Tarrasque. There's just not a whole lot Boom can do to defend this one.
And this
not
is
until they have Rolling Thunder.
This is the real test now for Boom. With the Sunstrike on, good Yule Scepter. It's time for Yopaj, but it's just an onslaught of physical damage that comes afterwards. Naga Slardar straight in towards FBZ, but he's swashed back to low ground. Yeah, I think you're right, Gods. But plate mail is something here for Leshrac is desperately needed.
Oh, for sure. And there was so much damage there. Like he needs the plate mail, but at the same time, I don't know if it saves him a lot of these times. But you got to itemize for to deal with your opponent's strengths. I feel like.
Ooh. Even with Lesh dead, Boom smoke up.
Are they worried about Roshan here? Maybe they just don't see heroes here. No one's in Rosh. They're going for a kill on mid. This is a Naga kill.
Naga, that's huge.
I think Naga just saw that. Yeah, he just saw Lesh dead, and he's like, okay, I can do whatever right now. But right into Roshan with Metamorphosis. This is a fantastic move from Boom. What a play from them, and they're going to get themselves a free, uncontested Roshan, which is great for Leshrac, because this Leshrac desperately needs Aegis, I feel. Oh, maybe they give it a TB. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It does look like Jackie is pushing forward, so maybe they just saw what happened last time with an Aegis on Lesh, where he just dies twice super fast, and TB's ready to kind of play this frontline push and carry now, so. All right.
I just love those kind of moves, teams smoking up to fight into Aegis, or teams with a hero or two down smoking up to get that little advantage, playing the mind games with your opponents. Because like you said, Naga's feeling pretty fearless there, feels unkillable. And Boom, knowing that, exploit. Unaware, Naga Soren in the middle lane. Get themselves Aegis on TB. Meta down for 80 seconds, so still not too bad for OG to keep split pushing, try and force fights away from their base, which is something they're so good at. And that map control, playing opposite side of the map.
BZ's here to try and hunt him down, but BZM is already out. And that's the thing, he's the only real reliable catch of sorts. Tiger! Oh, the blind sun. Yopaj gets him in the trees down bottom. He was trying to TP out. Maybe he just had a sixth sense, or possibly saw something. I'm not entirely sure what radiant vision looked like.
Amar's in onto the snap, and Jackie trying to get away with a Demon Zeal. Popped his BKB early on to disengage from OG.
That's the thing, you show Pengo bottom, and then all of a sudden OG know it's safe to force a fight mid. Take it while the Pengo's away.
And then the line's drawn again. Playing keep away with Boom right now. Don't let them reach the base. Don't let them get high ground. Keep killing off a hero here. Like any trade is pretty good for OG as long as it's like for like. As Amar, FBZ quick on the blink.
It has the Basher completed now. Also an Aeon Disc queued up. FBZ, ton of utility items for the team.
BZM does have this Scythe of Ice now though, so if Invoke is able to blink hex someone, they can die in a blink of an eye.
You have to be ready with the counterplays and protecting your teammates.
Well, FBZ, he catches Yuragi, then Yuragi catches him, and now Jackie's here to try. Yeah. It looks like FBZ gonna roll in and run away. Cause a bit of chaos.
Should be a full disengage from Boom.
A jump back in.
Whoa.
He gets the crash onto Invoker, but now the turnaround back onto the TB, and they got a chain locked down with a Hex. He's stunned and caught. The Manta not enough. Aegis claimed, but he does have the BKB once he respawns. Kiss is launched in, covering fire from the Snapfire as Yuragi slows things down, aiming for the Terror Blade. He does have BKB Sunder though to come out of this one. Sunstrike of the bashes from Amar, catching out Jackie, trying to focus down the Terror Blade, but Yuragi and Tiger on the run back as Yopaj unleashes hell on them. They can't get it off again, but the heals, Tims and Skem, keeping Jackie in fighting shape while Yopaj just keeps on hounding this Invoker. A bash in with a swashbuckle from FPZ finds the kill on him.
Oh, OG just getting a little bit too big for their britches. They're trying to force the TB kill, and or even taking a fight. Like, they knew TB didn't have Metamorphosis. He was respawning out of Aegis, but there was just enough firepower coming in from Yopaj, who most of these fights gets prioritized and focused out. This is the first fight where Yopaj had free reign because everything had been thrown to the TB. We'll see it again here. They came so close to killing him a second time. That was the first death, but because of all these spells being used, it's just, you know, it's a free team fight for Leshrac. They're going high ground. They're looking to get a lane of racks here, as you'll see in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, back to live. Tier 3 down. Buildings falling quickly as Yopaj gets out his Diabolic Edict, but OG have a glyph. Spamming out Ice Path after Ice Path. They need 20 more seconds for BZM to respawn, and it looks like they're just going to give up this lane. Another creep wave will arrive and allow Boom to unlock that first lane of barracks.
Yeah, I don't think Boom are interested in forcing the mid lane quite yet. They're going to disengage together. They've got most of their spells back up. The Rolling Thunders come up. Metamorphosis in 40 seconds, so they could be ready for another team fight fairly soon. They've got such good vision around this top part of the map. Multiple observer wards in this dire jungle, so they'd love to find a way to take another fight, but at the same time, maybe they're going to be eyeballing off the lane equilibrium. They need to push out these lanes. Bottom lane, mid lane. Naga doing a really good job of repelling Boom just by pressuring these lanes.
Excellent. Like, even though Roshan is minimum 3 minutes away, you're still looking that far ahead to be able to push out these lanes, get them across the river to set up for 3 minutes time, even now. And OG can have Bloodthorn on the Naga Siren.
Smoke up, and they see some of these. This is where the vision, they have triple observer ward. It may just be Tiger they find.
Death number 13 incoming.
Yeah.
FBZ, good connection. Gonna get stuck here on the ramp though. Now with Yopaj's arrival, they've got chain stuns for days.
Bit unfortunate, but Yopaj recognizing he needed to Yules to stop any kind of rebound escape, and now prioritizing this mid lane. There is a Radiant creep wave here, but be going high ground without an Aegis here, but this TP is mighty strong, but doesn't seem like Boom can go for any kind of push here. They're playing the game where they just want to hunt down these heroes here. They see like Invoker Fort Spirits mid, these Naga illusions. They need to find the real heroes, and the problem is the so-called phantom push, the illusions, the summons just make it so hard to make any play on the map when you can't actually see real heroes that you want to go for kills on.
Yeah, it's like this is a good place for Boom to be in a normal game. Play enemy ancients, you farm ancients, get neutral items, you kind of have this split push between bot and mid. You don't have any of your own creep waves coming, and Leshrac, self-Yules and the BKB as the Song of the Siren from Uragi. Not gonna work out here for him. Yopaj almost mad to dodge on the stun. Gonna get him away from
no bash.
No bash. And he doesn't get the RNG luck he needed.
Oh, that was so good from Leshrac. BKB in the song, buying time. Naga can't TP until that split earth is being used, and the reason Yopaj goes for it is he knows his teammates are probably, like, you know, just close enough to maybe cancel a TP, but FBZ couldn't get close enough for Rolling Thunder, and unfortunately didn't get the bash RNG.
Super unfortunate for them, but they're still ready to go again. Smoked as 5, pinging out where BZM and Misha are. Cookie forward onto Jackie will claim the life of the Jakiro here. A simple and swift kill.
BZ almost found some +1s there, but here come OG, they want to go in.
They've nearly blown up FBZ, but the double force down the crit. It finally takes him down. Dead for 80 seconds, stole it from Skem. Gets him out, the tombstone already dropped. Oh, I'm hard, just going to BKB TP home, he's safe. There's nothing to stop him whatsoever.
Yep. AC just giving him that extra bit of survivability against the TP now, and it can live hard for Boom, who are so reliant on this Pengo to set up kills for the TP and for everyone. Second he goes down, there's not really a whole lot Boom could do. They're just going to get kited and outmaneuvered in any kind of a team fight. Both teams are going to start eyeballing off Roshan fairly soon. Sometime in the next 3 minutes, it's going to be respawning, and Fire Scan does clip onto them. Still 30 seconds without Pengo, and that's why OG have made this smoke move. Tiger leading the charge, trying to desperately find anybody, but Boom seems to be aware of this. They've completely vacated their Ancients area, just leaving TP illusions. more than happy to kind of give up that Roche area of the map for now, but they're going to need to make an aggressive move out. They don't know the Roche timer for all they know. Roche, okay, they just got Roche and now they know OG's not in there, so they buy that little bit of breathing room.
And this is where the eyes in the hills really become incredibly important. These high ground observable spots, which OG currently have 2 of. I did notice, though, that Snapfire pinged out the one closer to their Ancients, and both teams have gems. Vitally important to keep that team fight vision going when you need the initiations to be spot on from heroes like FBZ and Amar on this Pango and Slardar. An Arcane Rune bottom for Yopaj as well. That's a big one for Boom.
Happy about that. And Aeon Disc Pango just means they can play a little bit more aggressive with SPZ in the front lines. Doesn't have to quite worry as much about some of those initiations onto himself.
Getting rid of that vision. Now it feels like Boom, the ones with the advantage, taking that spot on the map just in front of Roshan. Or OG playing into darkness right now.
Boom just feels like in some ways such a similar game to last. The big key difference being that Boom have drafted and just prepared themselves better to actually go late game, recognizing like maybe early on that with OG, you know, picking the Naga that they're just looking to stall it out again. Boom's like, okay, we'll get TP, you know, we'll match you. And they put themselves in this position where they're making all the plays, controlling the map, but then also scaling at the same time.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised the BZM's not going for the Aghanim Scepter here, having Slardar, Jakiro, and the Song of the Siren to set up for Cataclysm. Opting to go for the Octarine Core rather than that.
The cooldowns and for long drawn-out fights will be nice and all, but it does feel like at least at some point it's going to be eyeing off an Aghanim Scepter, at least maybe as his next item. Yeah. The Timeless Relic is a dream item as well with all that amped up spell damage too.
That's huge. I mean, debuff duration as well. Real handy on the Invoker. As Roshan, he's up. He's got an Aghanim Scepter on him. So maybe that's what the Invoker's looking for. Try and take this Roche for themselves and just get a free Ags.
Why buy Ags when Roche give free Ags?
Simple solution. And OG, they still have that high ground ward. Tim's, he knew it was there for a while, so he gets rid of it very quickly.
OG has smoked. Lestrek is TPing a little bit split up here. Yopaj may get caught alone. He's smoked.
Yopaj. They get immediate initiation. Yopaj getting blown up. He does have buyback. But Boom in an awkward spot now. Tornado EMP gonna clip onto the TV. Ice Wall's gonna slow him down to a crawl as he mantas out of the ensnare of the Naga. But Uragi gonna song up to high ground here. They're trying to get the backstabbing onto the Undying and the Snapfire. Well, Mar with his side the voice out of BZM, blow up Skim. Now the catch onto the Snap. So quickly done. Jackie's gonna turn onto Uragi, but the tanky Naga gets himself away. While Tiger's Big Gibby allows the disengage. A Sunstrike onto Jackie. Amar turning with the matches. In comes the Deathling Blast to the Hex again. OG have destroyed them. Executed, outplayed, and annihilated around the pit. OG will dominate Boom here and take Roshan for themselves.
I mean, they were, but they kind of had all the info they needed to know, and I think they still knew that Yopaj was maybe lingering on that bottom lane. He unfortunately TP'd into that tier 2 top tower, got caught alone, and then even though he has buyback, he can't TP out. So he didn't actually buy back until super late because he's thinking like I buy back, I have to walk to this fight. Like, that's the other big issue. Like, your buyback isn't worth as much when your TP's on cooldown. So OG just, you know, a bit of luck in some ways that they catch Yopaj alone there, but also a bit of a misplay from Yopaj to be going there alone when they could smoke in. And OG get rewarded for their boldness, going for the smoke play. And this game just flips on its head.
Yeah, yet again. Who did they even give the Ags to? Naga has it, I guess?
It looks like it, yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to have that improved ensnare and the reel in. Pretty good against Magic Immunity.
OG. Looking for multiple lanes, pushing both mid and bottom in. They're not pushing all that fast, though, and Boom are respawning.
There. Nearly in position here with FBZ coming back alive to defend their high ground. 2 tier 3s did drop though, and that's an ideal situation for a Naga lineup. Keep that split push going and allow the creeps to do the dirty work.
far from over, but Boom cannot afford to make mistakes like that.
It's like these final hurdles, Boom just can't get over them. And the first couple of 100 meters, perfectly fine. Everything's going well for them.
Yeah.
And just a few slip-ups.
As far as like the team fight, I like the adjustment. The previous team fight they lost, they like used this song plus ice path towards TP, and then he just BKBs the ice path and wins the fight. They did the same thing, but they ignored the TP, and TP BKB'd the ice path, but he didn't need to. He was fine. He was being ignored. So just great heads up play from OG to kind of realize that this TP shouldn't be the #1 priority at the start of a fight. They should kite him, but they shouldn't throw all their spells on top of him. And Boom with this ever-present threat of the Nagasara need to deal with bottom lane, need to push out mid, but they also need to stay as 5 together. While BZM is going to get spotted out for a sec there, but in the invis, FBZ has no reveal, so can't get the catch on the Invoker in the end. BZM goes toying with Boom at this point, forcing them all back into their base, while the rest of his team, they're smoked up and invading Ancients. Find a catch on anyone here. Always have those sun strikes that can be flowing in as well, but gee, they're hunting. Mars Slayer getting fatter and fatter with an MKB. He's the Aegis carrier who's going to be just blinking in and starting fights anytime he sees a Boom hero.
Yeah, I mean, you said a minute ago this game flipped on its head. I didn't really click how much. Like, looking at the graph now, it's Mariana's Trench there dipping so fast down towards OG. Everything, experience, gold, win percentage, now 72% favored for OG here over Boom in game 2.
Yeah, got up to like 74, 75% Boom favored, and it's a 50% swing there on the win probability, and Boom are the ones on the back foot defending their base. Down 15k gold all of a sudden. I mean, a big part of that is the Ag's Blessing, of course, but it's an item. It's making OG stronger, and OG themselves are not in any rush to try and break this high ground here. I think recognizing that they've had their best fights off of some of their smoke plays, fighting around their vision, and don't just want to try and brute force down a lane.
Yeah, I like that from BZM. TP's bot. He sights one of the TP illusions, kills off the other with a meatball, deafening blast, and pushes out that bottom wave incredibly hard. And still has the boots of travel. Octarine bots, he is everywhere on the map right now. Can rejoin this fight very quickly. And it's top and mid, both being cut from the Ancients area due to this Nagasaren with their illusions. And Boom, bunkered down in their base. Their high ground defense is still no joke with the meta TB and Upaj on this Lashrak. Having that shard and the split earth stacking can be a challenge to push high ground against.
Oh, absolutely. And they're going to be hitting some level 25 soon. Lashrak with a completed Wind Waker, if he can get there, that's going to give him a way to save some of his teammates if they get Initiate on or Hexed up, Wind Crush. So there are tools that Boom have coming their way fairly soon. Not to mention multiple Aeon Discs for some self-saves.
Misha's got an Aghanim Scepter.
Oh. All right.
Oh, yeah. Piercing spell immunity is a huge factor here. We talked about it a little bit with the Ensnare, but now having Macropire with that song setup, having Ice Path and Crush. If someone gets caught here, they get scythed into Chain Stun, they die. So we have to start looking at buyback status.
That's some serious damage output, and I think OG, just... understanding they may lose one of their frontline cores may get jumped off, but they want to make sure all these supports scale pretty well at the same time. So it's going to be a tough game as things kind of develop here.
Yeah, I mean, OG going to know that there's 2 minutes still remaining on the cooldown of Lesh's buyback. I'm going to keep them hemmed in and keep the side lanes pushed, but it's Boom to smoke, knowing that they need to do something drastic to get out of this funk they're in. FBZ ensnared and silenced, hexed, and might just straight up die. He does have the Eon Disc. Can't forget that with a roll up and a little cyclone from the Stormcrafter, but OG quickly moving forward to give chase. FBZ healed back by Scam, and a very tight-knit group here from Boom, all holding hands together and making sure when they fight as 5.
So much of the vision game is so important here, and it's OG who have got multiple wards spread around this Boom base, not to mention all these Naga illusions that always can be sent out, not just to scout, but to keep lanes pushed in, which makes it so much easier to know. Like, there's no, like, surprise factor when it comes to Boom and where they are on the map. You're always going to know unless they smoke up. And if they smoke up, you're going to know they smoked up because you're pushing in all these lanes and no one's defending or no one's showing. So it's just so tricky for Boom to make any kind of a play outside of their base anymore.
That's an impossibility. Let's try and keep smoking. Ninja gear for Tims. Move out slowly on the map. See if that smoke breaks. Misha, Uragi. They're here. Snare and Silence. Pops the Eon Disc on to Snap as well. Okay. But again, Boom, all 5 together, making sure that if there's a fight, it's going to be a big one.
Tiger's in.
And he's jumped forward. Tombstone's dropped. Song is there. They're trying to focus down the tomb of Skem. And the Wraith Pact not going to get taken down. So those kids is just a zoning one as OG come in and bail away as quickly as that. While bottom lane, BZM was split pushing. Does get jumped with a good tornado EMP. Should be able to get out of this one safely. No further catch onto him. Even turning with the meatballs to make sure the Boom cannot keep following him back towards that bottom lane.
What's the Metamorphosis used? There's no Refresher, no Aghanim Scepter on this TB, so there's going to be a window here for OG.
Yeah, they need to spend a lot to save him.
You're still split pushing too. This Invoker just being a complete pest in this bottom lane. Saying, okay, we can't win it. We can't go high ground and take a full-on fight. Let's just push top and mid with 4 heroes while Invoker keeps sending these forward spirits in down bottom.
They have to deal with BZM. And he is under Obs and Sentry right now.
He realizes there's that ward scouting him out, but see if Boom find a way to punish this Invoker.
Looking at Mara and Tiger though. They're coming across, trying to stop the D-Wall from happening. And FBZ on disc again, buying him a little bit of time, and that tornado missing. Gives him the opportunity to escape. OG though back in Snare Silence. Nagasara able to catch up to the Pango. And the focus from Tiger, the unleashed damage. It's enough to bring down FBZ. The turnaround from Yopatch. Killed off Tiger, but the buybacks. Where's FBZ with his? Holding on to it for now. OG still strong in here. Standing their ground outside the Radiant base. And Boom. They just fall back to high ground again, reclaim the gem, and reset.
No panicking, keeping the Pango buyback for now. Waiting to see if OG force any kind of a move here. So they can get away with not using the buyback here. That's so important in late game Dota when you're looking at 50, 60 minutes in. These buybacks are one of the biggest things to kind of manage as a team.
I mean, pretty much everyone has them. Everyone did have them until BZM decided to buy out his overwhelming blink. And 100 gold isn't much to farm up, so in a few seconds it will be all greenlit. Everyone with buybacks. We're going to have a 10v10 on our hands as Roshan is ready to be claimed and be fought around inside that pit.
Yeah, curious to see if any of these heroes forgo buybacks for any big items. Like Leshrac could buy a Wind Waker, but it doesn't feel like it's a big enough like upgrade and your item set to be worth giving up buyback. Most of these cores, it's just there's no like rapier or anything that warrants getting bought.
Roche died very quickly.
Yep, who's getting Aegis here? Demara's like, do I want this?
I don't know.
What's the plan here with Aegis? They're just,
I mean,
Tiger, yeah, there we go. All right. Amar's just like, I'm 6 slotted. This Mask of Madness is too important.
Yeah, they got Mom AC MKB. He's the TB killer.
Refresher Jakiro. Let's go. Double Acropire, double Ice Path.
Hell yeah.
This is where it's fun. These games as a support is so much fun. Like, you're getting all these items you just never buy. You're getting your level 20, sometimes maybe even level 25 talents if it goes long enough.
He's got a telescope. He's happy with tier 4 items.
Axe and Shard on Jakira. Like, and with the Refresher Shard.
That is nuts. BZM finds an illusion, kills it quickly. Tim's with Ninja Gear causing a few issues, just pushing out that bottom wave. Just never feels like Boom are the ones with I mean, they're going to smoke now, but it never feels like they're the ones with the ability to jump, catch, kill, force a team fight that's going to work out for them. OG have so many reset tools and kiting abilities.
We see Amar on Vision here, but he's very swift in just going from camp to camp. And they need like an insta-stun from a Rolling Thunder from Pengo, so it's just so hard to actually catch him. And once again, it's BZM split pushing the bottom lane. Let's be a little bit careful. He's going to reveal himself by using the meatballs here, and they actually get caught out here. He's still hugging these trees. He hasn't left the bottom lane.
Oh, they smoke to try and find him. They know where he is. Surely they'll see him. There we go. The BKB comes from BZM, though. Two-man tornado to get away. Skem's going to chuck the tombstone towards him, but he's already blinked out of there.
No, they don't have that insta-stun or Hex. And
out. OG swarming back.
That. Like, Nagaluja just keep chipping at these top buildings, and yeah, Boom are going to have to hug their high ground once more.
Yeah, it's not just the buybacks we've got here. OG have double cheese plus Aegis. Rolling Thunder from FBZ, but Tiger unleashes, BKBs, hits the buildings, then runs back while the roll in. FBZ's not really got the backup though. Yopaj is out of mana. TB walks forward, but they've got a Song of the Siren that sets up. Two-man Ice Path, Macropyre onto the big core heroes. Lash and Terrorblade, they've got to run away from this. Can't get stuck in all the fire and the spam damage. There's so much noise on the floor. TB's dying to Macropyre. Oh, the tornado clips him. He's down to like 300 HP. Still has BKB Satanic and the Sunder, but you're losing your buildings.
They split it. That was close. They will basically bury him into the fountain there, and they're not done. They just jumped left. He just deleted.
Disappears. Double buyback now from Boom as Tiger does lose that Aegis. First life gone, but OG are just swarming over Boom right now. Yuragi gonna get away here with his own BKB, swapping items in and out. Doesn't have Song for 20 seconds. Oh, good force snap. A bit of distance here, and Amanta tries to dodge away from the cookie, but he gives the TV and the ledge rack. The magic damage spilling onto the Naga and looking to kill her off. No way you're going to get out of this one, Yuragi. But he kills BZM and Amar, crushing through onto them all. Timmons will have to buy back himself, while Terrorblade on the high ground, running back to Fountain. Boom spending a lot just to hold on to this game, as OG have also brought back on Naga and Marcy.
Yeah.
Losing that top lane.
I think OG committing these buybacks means it's maybe time to reconsider this push in this fight here. Some of these key BKBs on cooldown as well. Amar there at the end getting ping-ponged around by a Rolling Thunder, but luckily there wasn't any follow-up damage, and OG decides to back off to go defend this top lane and wait for their next good initiation. But this game, 55 minutes in, 33k gold lead, but are we getting 60-minute items, Gareth? What do you think? Are we getting there?
Yeah, we have to now. They've got us this far. We can't just close the game out without getting those tier 5 neutral items.
All right. See, we've still got 5 minutes to go. I don't know if, like, Roshan, this is not quite as big a deal anymore. Like, your cores get all maxed out. Nobody really has room for an Aegis. Often having an Aegis doesn't actually make a difference in a team fight. It's more about just whoever gets a better initiation wins.
Oh, Tiger. Initiation onto the Terrorblade. Cookie. Lotus all back around the dispose. Jackie needs to get the sun. No, will do so. Onto a more. Actually turns around and kills off Tiger now as well. Good
all those saves. He's died a Macropyre. Yeah, the Macropyre, Jackie.
Oh, God, yeah. Got to get himself out of that one with his Satanic. He will heal back up. While Yuragi getting caught out by FBZ. But the Lotus all back onto the Nagasara, which he turns with the Bloodthorn. Shredding through the Pangolier, and Tim Zionis does pop there. But BZM giving chase. He knows how low they are. And a refresh up. Trying to catch with another tornado. Looking for Tim's, the dieback on the Snapfire. A big kill for them on the Terrorblade as well. The Meatball and the Alacrity of the Invoker of BZM gets them huge kills. And the buybacks and Boom require this takedown on the Invoker.
BZM has buyback.
Get him down and out.
OG could go for the killing blow here if they want to buy back on Invoker. It's a small risk to it, but Boom are forcing this.
Need it. Oh, dead with the 3-man stun. That killed off your bunch. No buyback, dead for 2 minutes, and Terrorblade just evaporates under the damage that OG bring. They've got every kill they needed.
It's over.
The buyback victory won by OG in this back and forth game. 57 minutes. We don't get to tier 5 items, but OG going to come out with a 2-0 victory.
Just the way OG played late game with their team fighting and decision making is so impressive. Like 2 games in a row. This time around, they didn't have the better late game lamp necessarily. They definitely, I mean, it was slightly better, but it wasn't like